And we are live. Welcome, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the last zFestival event of the summer 2021 weekend event series, which is what I called it yesterday. I don't know. It's a thing, I guess. But this is it. Final Gala number 2. After this, we'll be signing off. We're going to get pretty much straight into pieces today. But before we do, I just want to give a little recap if anybody new is joining us and didn't get the little recap from yesterday. All you really need to know is that there's 3 kinds of groups that we'll be presenting today. We'll have our traditional track groups, which the traditional track is an audio or music and video track, where there's a composer, performers, an audio engineer, and a visual artist who put together an audio-visual piece, which is what we did last year, which is why we call it the traditional track. You have your multidisciplinary groups, which are a group of 4 to 5 general artists who have no assigned roles and had to come up with their own concept and decide their own medium for the pieces that they will be presenting today. And then the last track and the last kind of group you will see is a solo performance group, which is from the new composers and solo performance track, where younger composers or people who haven't composed much got a chance to write for a solo instrument, and that was being performed by a solo instrumentalist. Aside from that, there's not much else you need to know. I'll plant a little seed that we'll be announcing a little bit about zFest's future towards the end of today's gala, so definitely stick around. And 2 quick things regarding donations. I will be making a couple pleas today for your support. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, if you just like being with some goofy people on YouTube or in the Zoom chat if you're on the Zoom, feel free to send us a little bit of support via Fractured Atlas or PayPal. Fractured Atlas is a tax-deductible donation if you'd like to do that. But yeah. The only other thing I want to say is thank you again to the Musicus Fund out of the Boston Foundation who supported this final gala and sponsored this whole weekend. But aside from that, I think we're ready to get the show on the road. So welcome to the final gala part 2 on this August 1st, a Sunday in 2021. Man, that got really serious. Anyway, we're going to start with a traditional ensemble. A Ensemble is the title of the ensemble. The piece is Weihnachtslieder. I think I said that right. And the composer is Eric Barganier. The ensemble is Julia Bokanevich, Stephen I, and Ian Fales, with Luke Damarash as the audio engineer. And I believe Eric did his own visuals. Yeah, I'll turn it over. I believe Eric has a filmed or a taped announcement of his piece, and then we'll get into the piece.
Hey everybody, my name is Eric Barganier, and I collaborated with A Ensemble to create a 3-movement work called Weihnachtslieder for Julia on soprano voice, Stephen on toy pianos, and Ian on double bass. The text for the piece was adapted from the 19th century German poet Thomas Sturm, and it goes into depth about the nostalgia and the somewhat terror associated with the Christmas time in Germany. And I wanted to write a piece that reflected the same kinds of concepts in music, as well as touching on the nostalgia that comes with it in the form of the video that I worked on. I'd like to thank everybody in the ensemble for making this collaboration happen, for zFest for giving us a space to present, and also for Luke so much for helping us to realize the audio aspects of this project and really making this come together. So I appreciate all the help, and I'm excited to share this final product with you. Enjoy.
wie schnell die Kerzen fangen zu brennen an, das Himmelstor ist aufgetan. Alte und Jungen sollen nun von der Jagd des Lebens einruhen. Und morgen fliegt es hinab der Erden, denn es soll wieder Weihnachten werden. Und drum seh ich den Himmelsstern da mit großen Augen, das Christkind und ich soll stolz durch den finstern da rief mit Stimme. Ich sprach, du lieber Herr Christ, meine Reise bald zu Ende ist, ich soll nur noch in diese Stadt, wo's eitel gute Kinder hat, das denn das Säcklein, das ist hier, denn Äpfelnuss und Dirndlken fressen fromme Kindergen, hast denn die Rute auch bei dir? Ich sprach, die Rute, die ist hier doch für die Kinder nur die Schlechten. Die trifft sie auf den Teil, den rechten Christinlein sprach so. Ist es recht, so geh mit Gott, mein treuer Knecht, mein treuer Knecht.
Wow. What a rocking way to start the second gala. That was great. There was a lot of love in the chat about the visuals on YouTube, and also the Sprechstimme, and the combination of the vocals, the bass, and the toy piano really was a really cohesive ensemble. And I'm pretty sure when we put that together, we were like, oh, this is a fun experiment. So props to all of you involved, Eric and Luke and Julia, Stephen, and Ian, for making that such a wonderful experience. And thank you for starting off the second gala. Okay, I'm getting a little excited. I'll rein it in, but we'll keep going. We have our first multidisciplinary group of the day. I don't believe the group has a name, but their piece is called Prog Rock Estuary. And the artists involved are Clarissa Littler, Samantha Hogan, Tim Walters, and Tyler Katz. I'm not sure if any of them would like to say a few words, but we can turn it over to one of you if you would like. And it looks like a few of them will.
Yeah, I can say a few things. This was sort of a project where we ended up, taking a bunch of our disparate pieces and trying to put them together at the end. There were a few, all sort of on a prog rock theme. I provided live coded visuals where I attempted to interpret the music through video clips and images, at the end. And I also provided some poetry I had written as a part of a generative art project that was some of the lyrics. And other people can talk about what they did.
Hi there, I'm Tim, one of the members of our multidisciplinary group. I provided some composition, and part of the group was we would all compose little miniatures in the style of progressive rock. We then traded those little backing tracks amongst the composers of the group, and we all wrote melodies, trying our best to fit the words provided by Clarissa to the accompanying backing tracks. Now we all came across some hiccups along the way, so it's not as polished as we would have liked it to be at the end of the day, but I'm very happy with the product that we did end up coming together with at the end.
And if she's not going to say anything about it, I want to say that a watercolor painting Sam did was a part of was a part of the visuals here. It was very good.
Definitely.
Here it is if you'd like to take a look at it. It's based on the lyrics and all of the hues of colors that I heard within the recordings that we made.
Nothing's ever lost or wasted. All the time I want is endless fabric of space. The moon and the stars, I lost myself. Infinitude holy, I wanted to please, and a distant listener held every thought captive. I was trapped and alone, I was a vessel emptied out. Righteous God, power, wrath, and envy, intertwined love, cruelty. God, I tried to love. Nothing can grow. I have been so small, I have been so nothing, but nothing made me whole. Pressure of eternal self-creation exist with my own strength. Now instead of the jealous, rage-filled God who hollowed me, I can worship moon, stars, and the void. They know me intimately. We are endless.
That was awesome. I don't know if you weren't listening in headphones, I have to say I would go back and listen to it with headphones on, because like in that last part, like Tim's voice is just like all over your head, and the like space sounds are just, it's great. I would definitely recommend. But yeah, congratulations to you all. I feel like there's always one or two groups in a zFest program that always has issues with some of the participants come up and whatever. And this was one of the groups, this multidisciplinary group just had a few life issues come in, and a few participants had to drop out and so forth. And to still make it through and put together a product like that is fantastic. So really congratulations. And I think there's a call in the YouTube chat for a space opera to come out. So just saying, if you have any desire, I think there's a space for it. There's an audience. So great. The next performance we have is a solo performance piece. I like how in this concert we did 1, 2, 3 traditional multidisciplinary, and now a solo performance, new composers. The composer of this piece is Stephanie Henry. The title is The Fall of Cotton Seeds, and this is another last-minute bassoon sub that Ian Fong did, who I thanked yesterday. So thank you again, Ian, for subbing in and recording this a few days ago, last minute. And yeah, I'll turn it over to Stephanie to say a few words about the piece.
In Minnesota, where I live, there are a lot of cottonwood trees, and the seeds are always flying around in late spring and early summer. And it makes me feel like Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And so I wanted to create a piece about the plight of a cottonwood seed. And thank you so much to Ian Fong for recording this piece last minute. So please enjoy The Fall of Cotton Seeds.
Thank you for that beautiful piece, Stephanie. It was quite a lovely melody and took me on a little bit of a journey of cotton falling from the tree. The next piece is from E Ensemble. It's titled Tigers Above, Tigers Below. The composer is Gillian Flexner, and the ensemble is Sarah Richards, Julian Gow, and Seamus Hubbard Flynn. And I believe Sarah is going to say a few words about this piece.
Yeah, hi. First of all, huge thanks to Gillian Flexner. It's been a real honor and pleasure to work with her, and premiere this new work. So the piece is for soprano voice, and I believe Seamus included some tin whistle and flute parts, and Julian Gal played cello and piano for this. So everyone except for me, of course, kind of played two instruments or multiple instruments for this piece. And just the general idea of the piece is it's based on this Buddhist work called the Poma Kodron. I believe I'm saying that right. And it's about a woman running from tigers, and she finds comfort in the strawberries. And it's a really beautiful poem. It was really a joy to bring to life. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
There is a story of a woman. She runs and runs, runs and runs. And the tigers get closer, closer, closer and closer. She comes to the edge of a cliff. She comes down and down, down and down, down. She says, they're tigers, tigers, tigers. Tigers above, tigers below, 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 tigers above, tigers below. Tigers above, tigers below. She notices.
And puts it in her mouth. And enjoys them thoroughly.
That was great. Congratulations, everyone. The visuals, I did the audio mixing on that, but I hadn't seen the visuals before, and boy, were they stunning. Particularly that middle section. I don't know where you got that footage, Jillian, but that was quite lovely. We're moving right along. We have another multidisciplinary group coming up. And when we made this program, I wasn't at least sure how long their presentation was going to be. They have a slightly different format than most of the other groups. So I'm gonna turn it over to them pretty soon. The piece is called Regular Icasi Hexagon. And the members of the group are Alexa Letourneau, Asha Mielesco, Dorothy Chan, Ryan Elise, and Taki Salome. Is it irregular? I may have made a mistake in the program. Is anyone from that group here? Oh. For some reason, I can't hear you, Alexa.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Ryan, yeah.
Okay. So we'll continue on then. It is irregular Icasi Hexagon. So we've been doing this piece. It's been super fun. We decided to do an A and a B side initially, and that was kind of to represent a cassette tape. Me being born in the 80s, grew up with cassette tapes and kind of wanted to pay homage to that. But then it turned into 26 sides. So now we have side A, side B, side C, all the way through side Z. And we composed side A and side Z, and B through Y, we've created prompts for anyone else that wants to incorporate and enjoy creating with us in this whole process. So we have lots of different prompts for you to use, A through Z. The only caveat is A and Z always have to be performed, and you can pick and choose which other ones you choose. There's a super cool website, and it has prompts for it. You can even submit your works to us, and we have a whole YouTube page that we can create. So today we're going to start with movement A, and it's all based on reactiveness. So it's a video reacting to music reacting to art, dancing reacting to a poem. So everything's all reactive based off another art form. So we're going to start with A, and then we're actually going to do movement H, which you're going to get involved in on this. And then we are going to get Z rolling at the very end. So that's a little bit about our piece. And I enjoyed working with if anyone in my group is here and wants to say anything more, please do. Cool, I'm getting a lot of thumbs up, so. All right, so take it away. So next you're going to see movement H, and you're going to get a prompt that's going to include you to come in, and we're inviting you to join in our creative process. And I highly encourage you to visit the website to see all of the movements and collaborate in any way you can. So enjoy movement H.
Welcome, everyone.
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 I hope you enjoyed our movement H. I hope you look at all of the other movements that we have. There's so many great ideas and prompts, and please submit so we can create this masterpiece of a work that's 26 movements long. We've worked hard, everybody. Help us create. And without a doubt, not without a doubt, to continue on, going on to movement Z.
Oh, sorry. I was still finishing up my movement H. That was so much fun. I want to make it clear to everyone on YouTube and in Zoom, I guess, that you can submit your renditions of each of the movements on the website that we link to. There's a spot to join the database, I think is what it's called. And I'll post in the Zoom the website again and on the YouTube once more. That was just fantastic. I feel like from the beginning, all 5 of the members of this group were just like hardcore vibing, like from day one. And since then, just like took off. And the fact that there is a 26 movement piece that has come out of it is just better than anything I could have ever imagined. So really, congratulations and apologies that it was not titled correctly with the irregular icosahexagon, which for those of you who don't know is a 26-sided shape. Let's move right along here. We have a few more pieces before our 10-minute intermission. The next group is a traditional ensemble titled M Ensemble. The composer is Ethan Soledad. The title of the piece is Come As You Are, and the performers were Sarah Richards, Zoe Hart, Julian Gao, and audio engineered by Luc Damroche. I'll turn it over to Ethan, who's going to say a few words about the piece.
Hey everyone, I'm Ethan, and the piece you're about to hear, Come As You Are, is a piece about love and friendship. As cheesy as those themes sound, this is about finding your people, about finding your community that loves you and accepts you and just understands you. And I could not be more grateful to Sarah and Zoe and Julian and Luke for their wonderful artistry and hard work for my piece, and I hope you all enjoy.
That was quite a beautiful piece, Ethan. And the singing, Sarah and Zoe, and the cello playing, Julian, all fantastic. I don't know, it felt like each individual voice had so much to say, but blended so well when they were all sounding. Excellent writing. I don't know. I would love to look at that piece a little bit more. Congratulations to all of you. The next piece is one of our Duo Perla pieces, which I forgot to announce at the beginning of today's concert. We did have a preformed ensemble join us, and they put together 5 pieces, I think, over the course of the last 4 weeks, which I think is more than anyone else did. So thank you so much, Duo Perla, for being here. The duo consists of Shannon Riley and Tom Teresi. And the piece is Botanical Garden, written by Charlie Blasberg. So I'll turn it over to Charlie and Shannon, who I think are both going to say a few words.
Great, thank you, Peter. Yeah, this is an exciting kind of premiere for me, and I have to give a huge thank you to both Peter and Shoshana, and also to Tom and Shannon for their beautiful playing on this piece. And a big thank you to my friend Corby Simpson, who created some really great, vibrant artwork for it. A little preface about kind of the nature of the song. The melody, rhythm, and harmonies are nothing to write home about. It's really the essence of this music is about the layers and textures. And so I was able to get a lot of different kind of pieces in there and a lot of different layers, and that was kind of the whole point behind the song. And then in that, it's best listened to with headphones because there is a decent little stereo mix in there. But I'll pass it over to Shannon if she'd like to say a few words.
Absolutely. I'd just like to say that since Tom and I created this piece through a series of individual layers, we are also very excited to hear it, as we have never heard the final version. So really looking forward to hearing what you did with all those different lines and seeing the beautiful artwork.
That was really beautiful. The playing was excellent. The final product was gorgeous, and the visuals were stunning. Thank you for bringing us that process. Duoperla, thank you again for everything you've done this summer. Charlie, congratulations on a wonderful composition. And the artist, I forget their name, but please thank them for giving us all that. We have one more performance before we're going to take a quick 10-minute intermission to stretch our legs, run to the bathroom, do whatever you need to do. We have one more solo performance, and this is a piece by Dorothy Chan titled "No One Has Ever Seen Your Heart" for oboe and electronics. The oboist is Christian Bernard. I'll turn it over to Dorothy to say a few words about this piece.
Yep, thanks, Peter. Yeah, so this piece is for oboe and electronics, and the title is inspired by a poem by Daniel Hyde. It's a reflection, I think, on the relationship we have within ourselves and how it is when we are with other people versus like when we're alone, like really alone. Yeah, it's been a pleasure working with Christian, and I hope you all enjoy it.
That was lovely, Dorothy. And Christian, that was great oboe playing. You got a lot of love for the multiphonics in the YouTube chat. Quite excellent. I hadn't heard the entire piece, and it really came together really nicely in the end. A lot of different sections that tied together. So congratulations, both of you. We're going to take our short little intermission now for 10 minutes. And as is tradition, I will put up not a whiteboard, but our mission statement like I did yesterday. And of course, anybody in the Zoom, if you would like to draw on it, you are more than welcome to. But we'll be back in 10 minutes since it's probably 45 seconds into the minute right now. Let's say 11 minutes. And when your clock hits 31 minutes past the hour, that's when we'll start back up again. So 11 minute, 10-minute break now. There we go. Okay, see you all soon.
Hello, welcome back. It's me this time. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half of our performances. I've been hiding away and doing the sharing of videos, but I wanted to pop in quick and just say hello to everybody and also say thank you to everybody who's performing, everybody who's involved. We're going to get a little bit further into that in a little bit. But I just wanted to say how great it's been this year to watch everybody's projects come together. The galas are always awesome because we finally get to see what everybody's been working on this entire time. And it always comes out very cool. So not to take too much time out of that, I also just wanted to really quick shout out to a couple people who've been involved in zFest, who you have no doubt seen a bunch, but we have a couple people who've done literally all of our programs and shown up to like everything. That is Seamus, Shannon Lewis, Alexa, and Lara has also been at almost everything, and Julian. And I'm very sorry if I'm forgetting anybody who's been everywhere, but there are also lots of people who've been here since the fall and who've been doing both summer programs, and we want you to know that we appreciate you a lot, and we've had so much fun hanging out with you this entire over a year. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. Peter's going to say a little bit more about some of the other people that we've had involved in zFest. But yeah, that's what. Thanks for a great summer, and I'm going to go hide away again.
Thanks for that, Shoshana. And yeah, a huge shout out to all of our participants, whether it was last summer, in the fall, hanging out with us in the spring, or this summer. It's been fantastic getting to know so many people involved in the music and art world, and willing to do some weird digital art online. I wanted to thank a few other people. We thanked most of them yesterday, but I just want to do a quick shout out to our coaches, Luke Damrosh, who is our technology coach, and Amelia Bray, who is our composition coach. They've been with us from the beginning as well, and have been invaluable over the last year in helping participants get their projects to the finish line, working out technical issues, and just having a space to talk about the struggles of making things and continuing to be an artist. And then the other faction of people that I want to thank real quick is our guest artists, who I mentioned as a bulk group yesterday, but I just want to name them. This summer we had 10 guest artists, and in order of how they appeared, we had Christina Warren, who is an old professor of mine, does a lot of cool technology, music, I don't know, interactive things, and she did a wonderful workshop that was interactive, where we all got to make a lot of sounds. And then we had Rudy Hippolyte, who's a documentary filmmaker, and talked about his business and his running of making films over the past 30 years. We had Nick Vitinos, who's a Grammy Award-winning cellist, Zach Heidi, who's a YouTuber and a composer based in LA, Gary Galbraith, who's a dancer who works a lot with technology, Dana Jessen, who gave a presentation on improvisation and is a very, very good bassoonist. Julia Izumi, who is a playwright and called in all the way from Japan to give her talk and got us writing a little bit, which was very exciting. Wang Lu, who is a composer and current resident in the Chicago Opera Theater, writing Beekeepers, which is her first opera, or her first full main stage opera. Yosvani Terry, who is a jazz and contemporary classical musician, plays the saxophone, and walked us through some of his compositions. And our last guest artist this summer was Malik Williams, who talked a lot about the music industry, collaborating with visual artists, and copyright law and how to protect your work. So all of those guest artists gave talks to us, and they are still up on YouTube. If you're interested in watching any of them and joining in on any of the workshops, doing some of the exercises they walked us through, you're more than welcome to see them. Most of them will stay up there for evermore. A couple of them will come down soon. So particularly if you're interested in watching Dana Jessen's talk or some of Wang Lu's talk. There's a few things in there that we will have to take down due to copyright licensing and things like that. But yes, those are our wonderful guest artists. It's been a great experience having all of you involved, and a few of them acted as coaches for some of our ensembles, where they worked individually with some of our participants, which was fantastic. But yes, thank you to them, to our coaches, our participants. And I think that's all the thank you that I have in me. I do want to make another quick shout out to our donor base. I guess I have one more thank you. So thank you for everyone who has supported us over the past year. And it is never too late to donate. You will see in the YouTube description, there's a link to our Fracture Atlas where you can make a tax deductible donation, and also to our PayPal where you can send us money if you prefer PayPal. But yeah, no donation is too small, and everything goes to making our programs happen in the future. So with that being said, I think we are ready to get the second half of our second gala on the way. And we're going to start off with another traditional group. This time it's I Ensemble with a piece titled If I Told Him by Willen Whiting. And I regret to say I did not check ahead of time if anybody was willing to say a few words, but if anybody in the group.
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about it.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Peter and Shoshana, for this opportunity and for choosing my piece to open the second half. It's kind of my favorite spot in a concert, actually. Yeah, this piece takes a text by Gertrude Stein, which was written in 1924, called If I Told Him, a portrait of Pablo Picasso. And I believe that same year, Picasso had painted a portrait of Gertrude Stein. So it was sort of like some sort of artistic dialogue. And my performers did a wonderful job of putting it together. And that's about all I have to say. I hope you all enjoy it. And yeah, thank you everybody who was involved.
If I told him, would he like it? Would he like it? If I told him, if I told him, if I told him, if I told him, would he like it? Would he like it if I told him? No. 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 No.
Exactly. Exactitude. Flirting. Exactly. Shutters shut and open, so do queens. Shutters shut and shutters shut and so shutters shut and shutters shut and so and so shutters and so shutters shut and so. Resemblance. Resemblance. Resemblance.
Exact. Bling. Exact. Bling.
Resemblance.
Exact. Soul.
Be. 'cause actively repeat at all, actively repeat at all, actively repeat at all, actively repeat at all. I judge as a resemblance of he. Who comes first? Napoleon the first. Now to date. Presently, exactly do they do. First, exactly do they do. First, exactly, and first, exactly do they do. And first, exactly, and exactly, and do they do. At first, exactly, and first, exactly, and do they do. The first exactly, and do they do. The first exactly, at first exactly. First exactly, as exactly. Presently, as presently. As presently can. Cause Rob can quote are but presently exactitudes as proportions present. He, and he, and he, and he, and he, and as he, and as he, and he is, and as he is, and as he is, and as he is, he is, and as he, and he, and as he is, and he, and he, and he, and he. One. So not they let me decide. Don't not dare. What history teaches fair as well. What history teaches
That was great. Thank you, Willen and Russell, Tom, Christina, and Sarah. I'm a big Gertrude Stein fan, and I think that's a lovely text, and I think the setting of it was very much in Gertrude's, I'm on a first name basis with her, in Gertrude's style. So I appreciate the ode to Gertrude, as it were. Moving along, we have another solo performance coming up with one of the more obscure instruments we've had in the festival, the fuyara. And I will have the composer, Emily Bouyajan, describe what was going on in this process, working with this musician and this instrument in her piece, Mist. So I'll turn it over to Emily to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. So the fuyara is sort of like a, I guess, sounds like a deep flute that you play with overtone blowing. So I guess the fingering works more like a brass instrument, but the sound is flute-like and very mellow. So I wrote this, I guess, with the input of the performer Sam Kubina, and I kept in mind both some traditional techniques on the fuyara as well as my own compositional style. I tried to make use of the overtone series while still playing around with harmony to a small extent. So I guess the end result is a simple but somewhat Mist-like piece, which I thought matched the tone of the fuyara. So that's all I have to say. Hope you enjoy.
That was lovely, Emily. Thank you. And thank you, Sam, for your playing. If this is the first time you're hearing the Fuyara, which at the beginning of the festival is my first time hearing the Fuyara, I would definitely recommend our Salon Nights. I think the first one for sure, and maybe also the second one, unless I'm forgetting. Sam performed some folk tunes on the Fuyara. And it's lovely to hear some of the idiomatic ways to use the instrument. And Emily wrote beautifully for it. So thank you so much for that piece, Mist. Moving along, we have another piece by involving Dua Perla. This piece is called Math Magic by Marina Lopez. And I don't believe Marina is here, so I'm wondering if Shannon or Tom would like to say a few words about this. If not, we can go straight into the piece. Ah, there they are.
Hi, sorry, it was very loud here for a minute. So I was going to suggest that maybe we speak afterwards. However, very excited to present Math Magic to you all. This piece is a play on harmonics, which are created very differently on violin and guitar, even though we're both string instruments.
Yeah, she does a really interesting job with the composition of blending the tones of the harmonics on the guitar and the harmonics on the violin and the different kinds of attacks and tones that you hear. I think it was a really interesting project to work on, and I think you guys will enjoy it.
Thank you for that math magic, Dua Perla. Wonderful playing as always, and Marina, excellent writing. I love the different harmonics on both the instruments. Really, really exciting stuff. The next piece is for a traditional ensemble, J Ensemble. The piece is Anvat by Devora Balin. The ensemble is Laura Villanueva, Zoe Marie Hart, Tyler Niedermeyer, and Jack Pinto. And I just want to say that Laura Villanueva and Tyler Niedermeyer were last minute subs this week, bassoon and bass clarinet. Something about those low reed instruments. We just needed some extra people there. So thank you both to Laura and Tyler. And the audio engineer was Laura. So thanks for doing double duty on this piece. But yeah, I'll turn it over to Devora to say a few words about the piece.
Hello, I'm Devora. This piece was originally a poem written by Kadya Molodovsky, who was born in Russia and then immigrated to America in 1935. And the poem that she wrote is called Anvat, which is Yiddish, it's invitation. She wrote it in 1940, and it's basically like an open letter to God saying, like, you've lived in my house, so now it's your turn to invite me. And it's very like confessional, and I thought a really beautiful piece. So this is a setting of the last 3 stanzas of it, and each stanza kind of has a slightly different style. Not sure why I did that, but I hope you enjoy.
Und mach du's bschuld einer Mittwoch einmal einer Hand. Weil hält dar zur Fall mir Fuß wenn kiel Asche einer von die Falten deine Eis mir nicht gefallen. Nach Schweden scheint
Short and sweet, as they say. I hope you continue setting the entire poem because it was quite wonderful material there. And the singing and playing was beautiful. So thank you for putting that together. An Anvat by Kadia Molodowski. Molodsky. I definitely butchered that and I apologize. Anyway, we're just gonna zoom right past that. The next ensemble we have is H Ensemble with a piece by Tyler Katz called The Moon. And the ensemble consists of Ryan Alace, Tom Baker, and Dorothy Chan with Teo Bohm doing audio engineering. I'll turn it over to Tyler to say a few words.
All right, hello. This next piece is The Moon. It takes inspiration from text about nature. I used a text by Henry David Thoreau called The Moon, a poem of his, and set that to music. Just contemplating just nature and the moon and just the beauty of it. So here is The Moon.
And two tenors and toy piano. That's a Z-Fest combination for the ages. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. That was some great singing and some great playing. A really dramatic interpretation of the moon, and the visuals really led me to keep looking up into the sky. So thank you for that. The next piece is from C Ensemble. The composer is Jimiwal Dave Dagta. The title of the piece is Dalangin at Palhilom, which is prayer and healing. The ensemble is Connor Johnson, Christian Bernard, Eric Schuster, and audio engineered by Laura Villanueva. I'll turn it over to Dave to say a few words.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dave. The piece is a Filipino word. So, dalangin at paghilang means prayer and healing. So, it's kind of a ritual or devotion to the Almighty God for healing for everyone with all that's been happening because of the pandemic. And yeah, that's just it. So I thank my team, Peter, thank you, Soshana, Christian Bernard, Connor Johnson, Lara Villanueva, and Olivia Wong for the great team that we had. Thank you very much.
That was awesome. This is another one of those instrument combos that we kind of put together, like with some instinct that it might work out, but we're not entirely sure. And time again, all the composers make it work really well. And the performers sound so good. That was so lovely. And yeah, there was a lot of love in the Zoom chat and on YouTube. So congratulations to you all. It sounded really, really good. We're coming down to it. We have 2 more pieces left before the final gala is concluded. We have one more duo Perla piece. This one is by Alexa Letourneau and is titled Lamelle. And I believe Alexa's going to say a few words, and maybe Shannon and Tom as well.
Yes, if my microphone is working. Amazing. Yeah, this piece was such a joy to write. It's based on the concept of multiple definitions for the same word. So the word that I chose for this piece was scale, but I didn't use the musical definition because I'm just cheeky like that. So what it is a set of miniatures or scale models. I don't know. Puns are my thing. But each of them is based off of a different definition of the word scale. So the first one being things in balance, like a balance scale. The second one being to scale, like to scrape the scales off of a fish. The third one being to ascend to great height through mechanical and repetitive motion. And the last one being reptile or fish scales. I want to give a huge thank you to Duo Perla. It's not often that that a composer has the joy to work with such phenomenal players, and I've not met anybody in zFest who has done anything less than the best, and it's been such a wonderful experience. And I'm so happy with how this piece came out. I hope you feel the same way.
Thank you, Alexa and Dual Perla, for those scale-sized miniatures about scaling and scale and scales. I think I got it right. No, there are some lovely sounds in there. And time and again, the combination of classical guitar with violin seems to just be really quite lovely. So Duo Perla, please keep doing what you're doing. I know you weren't planning on stopping, but very excited to have you part of zFest this year and hope to hear more stuff from you in the future. And thanks, Alexa, for that lovely piece. Well, we've made it through 2 galas. We have one more piece to share. Before we do that, I just want to do a quick thank you again to everyone involved in the festival this year, to our guest artists, to our coaches, to our donors, and to our lovely, lovely participants. We hope to see some of you in the future, and stay tuned for after this piece. We'll make a quick announcement about what we'll be up to in the near future. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming out, for watching. If you like what you see, feel free to give us a small donation via Fractured Atlas or PayPal in the YouTube description. Liking and subscribing our YouTube is also very helpful for us. And if you ever want to get in touch, we have our email, zfestival@zfestival.org. We try to keep our website up to date, zfestival.org, to have any updates about upcoming stuff. And like I said, after this piece, we'll give you a small update about the coming months. But yeah, without further ado, our final piece of the final galas for the 2021 summer is another traditional ensemble, K Ensemble, with a piece titled Your Favorite Body of Water, written by Treya Nash. And the performers involved are Tyler Niedermeyer, Chloe Sizemore, and Tim Walters. And I believe Tim is going to say a few words about this piece before we get going.
Hey there, everybody. So I performed accordion on this piece, and it really came together all within Treya's mind. Now, I don't know what's beyond the threshold of my computer screen, but what I ended up receiving at the very end was a lovely piece where she combined all of these really strange elements from the cello and the clarinet, and combined them in these strange beating patterns, and I provided some percussive sounds on my accordion, all together into this beautiful rendition of her favorite body of water. I hope you enjoy it.
Well, there you have it. I couldn't have imagined a more tranquil way to end our second final gala this weekend, and to end our entire festival. So thank you, Treya and K Ensemble, Tyler, Chloe, and Tim for putting that together. I feel very peaceful, calm at heart. And the visuals were stunning. I feel like something that's happened in zFest is that we kind of task everybody to do visuals, honestly, without enough visual artists involved with the festival. And time and again, I am blown away about what you all are able to put together. So thank you again to all of you who have participated in the 2021 summer of making this such a wonderful experience after a long year in a pandemic, after being tired, hitting fatigue time and again, I'm sure, coming together with small groups, making pieces, putting together sounds, putting together visuals, and enjoying it, I hope. But yeah, thank you. It's been quite the summer for me, and you all have had a huge part in that. I'm going to turn it over to Shoshana now to say a few words. And yeah.
Yeah, so all of that. This summer is coming to an end, and we just wanted to give a little bit of an update on our plans for the next couple months for zFest, which are not that many. We essentially, Peter and I are both going to be kind of busy, so zFest is going to be on a tiny bit of a break. You know, we're not going to try to push and do a whole program in the fall or anything, so hopefully nobody was holding out for that. But that said, our email will be open, our messages will be open. Feel free to let us know anything that comes to mind related to zFest that you want to talk about, or not related to zFest, I guess. You know, we're cool. We like to hear from people. But that's essentially the plan for now. I think we're hoping to continue in the future, but at least for a little while, we're going to be a little bit on the down low.
Yeah, and just to echo that a little bit, like we won't be running any programs in the fall, but Shoshana and I will still exist. We will still be active, and we will still love all of you. So please keep in touch. Tell us what you're up to. We'll probably be in touch with maybe 1 or 2 small updates about things as we go forward. A couple things to maybe look forward to. They're not official yet, but we're hoping to very much run the summer festival again next summer. It might look a little different. Who knows? It's going to be a different world a year from now. But definitely stay in touch, get on our mailing list if you haven't, and we'll give you updates on that. And also possibly after a few months go by, we might try to get something together in the winter or in the spring, something smaller, maybe 48-hour challenge-ish, and or a small little week-long thing. But yeah, aside from that, participants, if you're out on the YouTube, feel free to come back to the Zoom. I'm going to do one last toast to the summer with you all if you would like to join me in that. And also, if you haven't friended me on Facebook, or if I haven't friended you, please do so. And like, I can't say it enough, please stay in touch. I love everything that you all do. Yeah, Alexa just messaged me saying that I'm soliciting friends. That is exactly what zFest is. That's exactly why I do zFest. But yeah, and to everyone else who aren't participants, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening, for watching, for being so active in the chat. That is something that we didn't really have last year. That has been really lovely this year to have the YouTube be so active. And yeah, I don't know, Shoshana, is there anything else you want to say?
The rumor in the YouTube chat is that we're both going to be in grad school.
That it's not a rumor, so.
It was a rumor, and now it's
confirmed. But yeah, we're going to take this down off of YouTube. Thank you again to everyone. Stay in touch. You know our email, zfestival@zfestival.org. Like and subscribe our YouTube, all the stuff I have to say, donate to us. You know, I don't know. We're running an organization. We got to say this stuff. yeah, thank you so much, and see you all soon.